A tiny flame still flickers on the golden puppy's ear as the bobcat's foam-flecked jaws slowly release their grip. Sarah hears a heavy thump against her front gate, a sound wrong in the twilight, quiet.
Oh God, no, the puppy's ear is on fire.
She drops to her knees, unscrewing her water bottle and pouring it directly onto the tiny flickering flame.
This can't be real. A bobcat carrying a puppy, and now a fire.
With the flame extinguished, Sarah scoops the limp bobcat and the whimpering puppy into her arms, the stench of burnt fur thick. She stumbles inside her small wildlife triage room and lays them on the stainless steel table.
Jensen, get in here. Burned puppy and a pregnant bobcat, both barely breathing.
Dr. Jensen rushes in, gloves already on, her eyes fixed on the shallow rise and fall of the bobcat's side. Under the harsh fluorescent lights, the two patients lie side by side, each breath a fragile promise.
Get me the burn kit and start an IV. The puppy's going into shock.
Sarah cuts away the puppy's singed fur while Jensen inserts a tiny catheter into a vein. The bobcat's breathing is shallow. Jensen listens with a stethoscope, her face grim.
She's pregnant. I can feel the kittens moving. The smoke inhalation could cause miscarriage.
She fought so hard to bring him here. I can't let her lose her own litter.
Ultrasound gel is spread on the bobcat's swollen belly, revealing 4 tiny hearts beating on the monitor.
I need to know whose puppy this is. Let's swab for DNA.
Sarah carefully rotates, a cotton swab inside the puppy's cheek, sealing it in a vial.
No one in the evacuation zone has reported a missing puppy. That doesn't make sense.
With both patients stable but guarded, Sarah sends the DNA sample to the lab and posts a found alert online. Leaving the rescued bobcat and puppy under Jensen's watch, Sarah drives out to meet the rancher who claims he witnessed something impossible.
If there were more pups, the bobcat might have been trying to save them all.
At Hank's ranch, the old man is already waiting by the fence, his eyes sharp beneath his hat brim.
You are the girl with the bobcat? I figured you'd come.
You said you saw her carrying pups. How many?
Hank gestures toward the charred remains of a shed in the distance.
3 times she went in. 3 pups she brought out. Last one's ear was on fire.
So that's why the puppy's ear was burned. She carried him through the flames.
Sarah's grip tightens on the steering wheel. 2 other pups might still be out there. She throws the truck into gear, dust billowing as she speeds toward the burned shed to search for the missing puppies. Sarah skids to a stop at the charred skeleton of the shed, jumping out before the engine dies.
She went in there for him. What kind of wild animal risks everything for a puppy?
Hank's old pickup grinds to a stop beside hers. He climbs out, his face a map of hard years.
See them tracks? Little paw prints, heading away from the fire.
Sarah traces the tiny impressions in the dust. Puppy prints, unmistakable, leading out from the wreckage.
These prints belong to 2 different pups. They survived the burn.
Her eyes follow the trail across the field to a red barn in the distance, its door hanging crooked. Without a word, she sprints back to the truck, engine roaring as she speeds toward the barn. The barn door is open, just a crack. Fresh paw prints mingling with tire tracks on the ground. From inside the dim barn, a faint whimper breaks the silence. 2 small voices crying out. Sarah slips through the barn door, and there, in a nest of hay, 2 golden puppies shiver side by side.
Their paws are singed, coats smeared with ash. Exactly like the first one.
One has a white chest, the other a dark muzzle, the lost siblings alive and crying softly. A floorboard creaks. Mrs. Gable appears in the doorway, a bowl of milk in one hand, her eyes wary.
Those pups showed up at my door after the fire. I've been keeping them safe.
Mrs. Gable, they're part of a rescued litter. Their brother is at my clinic, burned but alive.
A bobcat carried them here, you know. She came 3 times. I watched from the window.
I know, I am the one who found her collapsed at my gate with the first pup. She needs them reunited.
That wildcat almost died for them. If I let you take them, how do I know they won't end up in separate cages?
Sarah opens her mouth, but before she can answer, the fire siren in the distance cuts through the air.
The fire's moving closer. I can't leave them here. The bobcat risked everything to save them.
Take them, but send me pictures. I want to know they stay together.
Mrs. Gable presses the still whimpering puppies into Sarah's arms, her own eyes glistening. Sarah secures them in a carrier on the passenger seat, speeding back along the dirt road.
3 puppies, 1 pregnant bobcat. How do I make this work without her seeing them as a threat?
Inside the clinic, the first puppy, Sonny, lifts his bandaged head at the sound of the door. She opens the carrier. The 2 newcomers stumble toward the familiar scent of their brother. Tails wag, noses touch, and 3 tiny bodies collapse into a pile of golden fur.
The bobcat gave them this chance. She needs to see it.
Sarah places the reunited litter in a soft pen beside the bobcat's enclosure, still separated by wire. Hours later, deep into the night, the bobcat's panting shifts to guttural cries. She's in labor.
Easy, girl. You've already survived fire. You can do this.
Contractions ripple through her burnt body, and Sarah gently guides the first wet cub into the world.
4 tiny spotted cubs, each breathing on its own. She made it.
Dot weakly licks her newborns clean, but when the puppies whimper through the wire, her ears flatten. A deep growl rattles her chest as she bares her teeth, not at her cubs, but at the tiny intruders beyond.
She's protecting her own. If I push them together now, she might hurt them.
Sarah drapes a blanket over the puppy pen to block the sight, but their tiny cries continue.
I am sorry, babies. The only mother you know isn't ready to share her milk yet.
Inside the birthing box, Dot curls tighter around her cubs, a low warning growl each time a puppy whines. The puppies push away the warm bottle, wailing, searching for a heartbeat they can't find.
They aren't refusing the milk. They're refusing me. Scent swapping. If I introduce their smells slowly, she might not see them as strangers.
Sarah eases open the birthing box and slides out the blanket Dot has been sleeping on. She rubs the fabric along Dot's fur, collecting the wild scent of smoke and milk. She drapes the now familiar blanket over the shivering puppies in their pen.
Now the other way. Your blanket, little ones, for her.
She takes the blanket from the puppy pen, heavy with their warmth, and lays it inside Dot's nest.
I am asking a wild animal to trust the smell of prey, but she already carried them through fire.
Sarah sinks against the wall, staring at the 2 pens, exhaustion pulling at her limbs as she waits. Mid-morning light slants through the window, and Dot stirs in her nest, sniffing the puppy-scented blanket. She nudges the fabric with her nose, then rubs her cheek against it. No growl, only a soft purr.
She's accepting their smell. That's the first sign she might see them as family. Okay, girl. Let's try this. 1 step at a time.
She opens the wire barrier just enough for Sonny, his bandaged ear twitching, to stumble forward. Sonny nuzzles toward the massive cat, and Dot lowers her scarred head, sniffing his burnt fur. Then, with a gentleness that steals Sarah's breath, Dot's rough tongue sweeps across the puppy's head.
She's not just tolerating him, she's grooming him like one of her own.
Sarah presses a trembling hand to her mouth, tears cutting silent tracks through the dust on her cheeks. In the birthing box, 4 cubs mew, and for the first time, a golden puppy curls beside them, accepted. The radio crackles, mandatory evacuation. A wall of orange smoke rises behind the ridge. Sarah bursts inside, heart pounding. She wrenches open the carriers, hands shaking.
They've barely started to trust each other. This fire could destroy everything.
She opens all the cages in the cramped truck bed, praying the fragile bond holds under pressure. As the engine roars, Dot presses against the crate wall, a low growl aimed not at the puppies but at the flames.
She's more scared of the fire than of them. Maybe this will make them family.
The puppies whimper and crawl blindly toward Dot's warmth, and she doesn't push them away. Tiny bodies burrow into her singed fur, and for the first time, her protective curl includes them all.
She carried them through fire once, and now she's choosing to hold them through another.
The wildfire chased them for miles, but inside the truck, a new family was born out of sheer survival. Sarah's truck rattles into a friend's empty garage, the door grinding shut against the orange night.
We're safe for now. Just hold on, everyone.
She cracks the window, letting in cool air. Dot's yellow eyes flick toward her, then back to the whimpering puppies. Sarah drifts into a shallow sleep, shoulder against the steering wheel. And when she wakes, the sound is different.
That's not crying. That's suckling. She's nursing them.
In the weak gray light, Dot lies on her side, 4 spotted cubs and 3 golden puppies all latched on, peaceful and full.
After 3 trips into a burning shed, after collapsing at my gate, she's feeding them like her own.
By full morning, the garage door rattles up and sunlight floods the truck, revealing a single, breathing heap of fur.
Look at you all. You made it.
That image, the bobcat, her cubs, and 3 rescued puppies tangled in exhausted sleep, would soon be seen by millions. 2 days later, the evacuation order lifts, and Sarah drives back to find her rescue untouched by fire.
Home. And now, they'll have a real home too. No more hiding behind wire.
She moves the entire family into a larger enclosure, but every night, the pile reforms, Dot in the center, all 7 tucked against her. One morning, Sarah stands at the enclosure, the first rays of sun catching the golden puppy ears amid spotted fur.
I should record this. People need to see what a bobcat did for these pups.
Her hands tremble as she steadies the phone, capturing Dot's tongue sweeping over a puppy's head, then the whole pile stirring.
If I post this, the world might come knocking. But she deserves to be known.
She types a 3-word caption, "Love knows no species," and presses upload.
Rest now, Dorothy. The world's about to meet you.
Exhaustion pulls her into a deep sleep, her phone dark on the nightstand, waiting for dawn. The morning sun pierces her eyelids, and Sarah reaches for her phone, only to find it vibrating with a relentless stream of alerts. Millions of views, thousands of messages, and an email offering to fund her rescue for the next year.
This can't be real. How did it spread so fast?
She scrolls through the flood of comments, misty-eyed, but some offers demand commercial use of the animals.
Number. They aren't brand ambassadors. They're a family.
Yet one donation comes from a wildlife trust. No strings attached, just a promise to support Dorothy's haven.
This could change everything. But if I accept, I have to keep them safe from the spotlight.
Her thumb hovers over the acceptance button, and then she presses it.
We can do this. For Dorothy. For the pups. For every animal that needs a second chance.
But as the notifications keep pouring in, Sarah realizes the hardest part isn't the rescue. It's guarding their peace. The next morning, news vans line the dirt road, journalists banging on the gate, demanding a glimpse of the miracle family.
I owe them the truth. Not a circus. I'll talk to one, if they respect the animals.
She lets in a single reporter, a calm woman who kneels at the enclosure, not shoving a camera forward.
She saw fire and didn't run. She saw puppies, not prey, and chose to save them. That's who this bobcat is.
The reporter asks about the bobcat's name. Sarah's voice falters, her eyes finding the old photo in her pocket.
Her name is Dorothy. After my grandmother, who taught me that love is a verb. She'd have done the same.
That clip spreads even faster than the first, the name Dorothy trending alongside the nap pile. That evening, Sarah drives to the quiet hillside cemetery where her grandmother rests.
Grandma, your name is saving lives now. I wish you could see the family she made.
The naming gives the story a soul, but Sarah feels the weight. Every mention of Dorothy now carries the responsibility of her grandmother's legacy. Late at night, Sarah scrolls through the comments. Among the love, a growing thread accuses her of exploiting the animals for fame.
They think I am using Dorothy's suffering for clicks. But every penny from that video is going back into this rescue.
The next morning, a loud banging rattles the gate. A cameraman is already filming as a reporter tries to climb over.
Get off my gate. This is private property, and those animals are not for your show.
The reporter stumbles back, and Sarah slams the gate shut, her hands trembling with anger and adrenaline.
My grandmother didn't raise me to sell out the innocent. I'll find another way to keep this place running.
That afternoon, she calls a contractor to install a stronger security gate and an intercom system. She also hires a part-time assistant to help with the animals, freeing her to vet future media requests carefully.
From now on, every interview goes through me. Dorothy and her family aren't cash cows, they're survivors.
The news vans gradually disappear, but Sarah knows the fight isn't over. She's drawn a line, And now she must hold it. Weeks pass, and the nap pile photo appears on the cover of a national magazine. The headline reading, "The Miracle Mother."
We did it, Grandma. The whole world sees what love can do.
Donations flood in, enough to build new enclosures, hire more staff, and officially rename the rescue Dorothy's Haven.
This place will always be a sanctuary, not just for them, but for any creature that needs a second chance.
The cubs grow fast, their spots blurring into the tawny fur of young bobcats, while the puppies become gangly, golden adolescents.
She treats them no different from her own. They'll nurse until she decides it's time to stop.
Every evening, the improbable family piles together, a tangle of wild and domestic, healed by trust. The public's hunger for more stories fades as their attention shifts, but Dorothy's Haven remains a quiet legend on the California hillside.
The fame will pass, but this family, this is forever.
The nap pile becomes the symbol of Dorothy's Haven, a reminder that love doesn't count species. The days grow longer, and Dorothy begins gently nudging the puppies away from her milk. Her teats sore from their sharp little teeth.
It's time. They're growing so fast. Soon they won't need her milk at all.
She sets down a shallow dish of puppy mash, and after a tentative sniff, the litter dives in, tails wagging in delight.
You three will stay right here at Dorothy's Haven. You'll be ambassadors, living proof that love crosses every line. The cubs belong out there, in the wild. We'll prepare them, but not until they're strong enough.
She contacts a wildlife biologist to set up a gradual release program, a careful plan that won't separate them abruptly. Dorothy watches over all of them, her eyes following the puppies as they play, a low purr rumbling in her chest.
She seems to understand. She's giving them independence, just like she will for her own.
Every morning still finds them in a single heap of fur, wild and tame woven together, a temporary miracle that feels eternal. Sarah knows the day will come when the wild calls her cubs back. But for now, this is enough. The cubs are almost 6 months old, no longer nursing, their hunting instincts sharp.
It's time. They're ready to live wild, just like she did before the fire.
The morning of release, Sarah loads Dorothy and her cubs into the carriers, the truck heavy with purpose. She drives into the protected forest, the road narrowing to a trail, scent of pine through the windows. At the clearing, she opens the carriers. The cubs peer out, ears swiveling at the buzz of real wilderness.
Go on, sweetheart. You taught them to survive fire. Now teach them to live.
One by one, the cubs vanish into the underbrush, their tawny coats ghosts in the dappled light. Dorothy pauses at the tree line, eyes meeting Sarah's one last time, then blends into the shadows.
She's where she belongs. I didn't lose a patient. I returned a hero.
The drive back is silent, but at the Haven, 3 golden dogs press against the fence, tails thumping for her return. Months pass. The 3 golden dogs now greet every visitor at Dorothy's Haven, their tails wagging stories of survival.
They don't know they were carried through flames. They just know they're loved.
The nap pile photo wins a conservation award, framed now in the lobby beside a silver plaque. A news crew films the quiet haven, not for scandal, but to capture the legacy of a bobcat named Dorothy. That night, Sarah stands at her mantel, the nap pile photo beside a small urn.
She brought them to me, Grandma. Your name now shelters dozens of lives. I wish you could have met her. You'd have loved her stubborn bravery.
She places a wildflower on the mantel, the same ritual she once kept for the cemetery. Outside, the 3 dogs wait in their usual spot, healed ears silhouetted against the sunset. The miracle that started at a burning gate had become a forever home. Evening descends on Dorothy's Haven. Sarah sits on the porch steps, a cup of coffee cooling beside her. In the yard, the 3 golden dogs chase fireflies, their silhouettes flickering in the soft dusk.
I still see the singed fur sometimes, but now I see the joy too.
She reaches into her pocket, pulling out the worn photograph of her grandmother.
You'd have loved this porch, Grandma. It's like the one we always talked about. You told me love could cross any line. Look what you started.
The dogs tumble to a stop at her feet, panting, tails thumping the wooden boards.
They carry no memory of the fire. Only this moment, this peace.
She sets the photo on the railing, the dogs settling at her side as the last light fades, and somewhere in the wild, A bobcat mother, scarred and fierce, watches over cubs under the same rising moon. Sarah closes her eyes and remembers the night it began. A thump at the gate, a tiny flame. She sees it clearly. The bobcat's foam-flecked jaws loosening, the puppy's ears still smoking. Now on the porch, the same puppy, now a dog, sleeps soundly with his head on her knee.
Thanks, Dorothy.
The dogs stir, one lifting its head, as if hearing a distant echo of a bobcat's purr. Then it settles again, safe in a home carved from a wildfire's mercy. The moon climbs higher, and Sarah stays, wrapped in the quiet of a promise kept. Out in the forest, a shadow moves, scars earned in fire, a mother's instinct unbroken. And inside the haven, a framed nap pile photo catches the moonlight, its image eternal. Love didn't count species, it never did. For Dorothy, the bobcat, who carried fire in her heart and puppies in her jaws. For Sunny, whose burned ear healed into a badge of impossible rescue. For Mrs. Gable, who let go of love so it could grow. For Hank, who saw a miracle and believed his own eyes. For Sarah, who turned her grief into a haven for the voiceless. For the cubs who now run wild, their mother's courage in their blood. For the golden dogs who greet every stranger with wagging tails, never knowing they were saved by wildfire and a wildcat. For every soul that crosses the line between species, teaching us that love is the only thing that crosses all lines, every time. For Dorothy, and for every unexpected hero who steps into the fire to save a life, the miracle lives on in every heartbeat.